Crossing time falling for the prince.
Lalin, a modern Thai office girl, obsessed with ancient Chinese dramas, gets sucked into a mysterious painting and wakes up as a stranger in an ancient kingdom. What starts as a desperate struggle to survive turns into something totally unexpected. She captures the attention and heart of Prince Longyu, the cold and stoic third prince, who never believed in love two hearts. Suddenly, he finds himself protecting this strange, outspoken woman, who turns his world upside down. Amid court intrigues, battles for the throne, and hidden secrets of the kingdom, can Lalin find her way back to her own world? Or will her heart make her choose a completely different destiny? This story has it all: romance, comedy, martial arts, palace schemes, and heart-fluttering moments. Get ready to cross time and fall in love right alongside her.
Chapter 10. The prince began to suspect that Lalin might have to leave and felt shaken.
At Prince Longyu's residence, inside the tranquil grand hall, Longyu sat before a stack of official documents. Yet his eyes hadn't read a single word. Ever since the assassination attempt that night, his heart had remained restless, unable to find peace. "I won't let anyone touch you." The words he'd once spoken to Lalin still echoed in his mind. But now, a realization was slowly dawning on him. If Lalin's time crossing truly had a reason, if she was indeed the chosen one, mentioned in the ancient prophecy, then one day, she might have to leave. She might disappear from this world. From his side, from the corner of the room, Byaxian sat sipping his tea, keenly observing the prince's demeanor. He chuckled softly before speaking up. "Your Highness, you don't want her to leave, do you?" Longyu turned to look at him, his expression composed, his voice calm. "I simply don't wish for unnecessary chaos." "Ha, I don't buy that." Byaxian leaned back casually against his chair, a sly grin playing on his lips. "You can deny it all you want, but your eyes never lie. Admit it. You've fallen for her. Haven't you?" Longyu's hand tightened imperceptibly around his fan, and for just a heartbeat, his heart skipped. In the garden behind Prince Longyu's residence, Lalin sat quietly, gazing up at the moon, her heart and mind tangled in a storm of thoughts. "I can't stay here forever. Can I?" She knew that Longyu was protecting her more fiercely with each passing day. He was no longer just the cold, aloof prince. He had become the one who made her heart race every time their eyes met. But if the day came when she had to return, she let out a soft sigh, lifting her face toward the moon. And just then, she noticed a tall figure stepping quietly into the garden. Longyu stood before her, his sharp eyes calm yet searching. "What are you thinking about?" he asked softly. Lalin flinched slightly, forcing a small smile. "Oh, nothing. I was just thinking how beautiful the moon is tonight." Longyu continued to stare, as if trying to read the unspoken truth in her eyes. "Are you sure, that's all?" Lalin pressed her lips together tightly, avoiding his gaze. She quickly changed the subject. "And you? Why are you here?" He fell silent for a long moment, before answering slowly, "I don't know." He took a step closer, close enough that Lalin could feel the warmth radiating from him. "But I do know this. I don't want you to disappear." Lalin's heart pounded so hard, she thought it might burst. She slowly lifted her eyes to meet his, and in that brief, unguarded moment, she saw it. The same confusion, the same vulnerability, reflected in his gaze. Is he finally admitting his feelings? At Prince Chengyu's manor, while Longyu and Lalin were quietly confronting their own feelings, elsewhere in the palace, Prince Chengyu was hastening his dark plans. "It's time to move," he said coldly, his voice cutting through the dimly lit room like a blade dot. "If she discovers the way back, I will not allow her to live long enough to use it." The shadowy bodyguard bowed low, in silent acknowledgement before melting away into the darkness. Prince Chengyu smiled thinly, eyes gleaming with dangerous intent. "Whether she wishes to stay or go, I will be the one to decide." In Lalin's bedchamber, Lalin sat quietly before the ancient manuscript, its worn pages splayed open beneath the flickering candlelight. Her eyes scanned the section titled, "The Chosen One," and "The Blood Moon." It was all clear now. The gateway between worlds would open again soon. She had a chance to go home, back to her world, back to her time. And yet, why did her heart hesitate? "I shouldn't doubt this. This world doesn't belong to me." She told herself this over and over. Yet her heart pounded harder each time she thought of him, the third prince. If she left, what would become of him? In the prince's pavilion, Longyu stood beneath the open sky, gazing up at the full moon that bathed the courtyard in silver light. His thoughts were heavy, his eyes shadowed with turmoil. He knew Lalin had begun unraveling the secrets of her return. He knew the gateway would soon reopen. I should be happy for her, that she can return to where she truly belongs. So why does the thought of her leaving feel unbearable? Soft footsteps approached from behind. Baeksayan strolled in, his usual smirk in place. You don't look like the same cold-hearted third prince I used to know. I haven't changed, Longyu said flatly. Oh please. Baeksayan chuckled. You started changing the moment she barged into your life. Longyu fell silent, his jaw tightening slightly. Then came a soft sigh. I'd rather you not speak nonsense. Baeksayan shrugged playfully. Then tell me, Your Highness, what will you do if she really leaves? Longyu didn't reply. For the first time, the certainty in his eyes gave way to doubt. In the Imperial Garden, Lalin wandered slowly through the Imperial Garden, her steps light, her mind heavy. The evening breeze teased her hair, cool against her skin, but her eyes held nothing but confusion. Then came the voice, low, steady, and unmistakable. You're really planning to leave, aren't you? She turned quickly. There he was, Longyu. He stood just a few paces away, expression unreadable. But in his eyes, there was something she had never seen before. Pain. Her lips trembled. She didn't know what to say. You think there's no place for you here, is that it? He asked. His voice calm but weighted with something deeper. Something unspoken. Her eyes widened. That's not what I meant. But I have a home. In another world. And what about here? He stepped closer. Is there truly no one here that matters to you? Her heart skipped a beat. Is he asking if I feel something for him? She bit her lip, struggling to find the words. Finally, she whispered, I don't know yet. He looked at her, his gaze unwavering. I've never wanted anything in this life, he said softly. But I don't want you to go. Her heart thundered in her chest. She had never imagined the cold, distant prince could speak such words. She began, her voice shaky. But before she could finish, a sudden gust of wind swirled around them, rising like a whisper from the heavens, pulling at her sleeves. Her hair, like the world itself, had begun to shift. The blood moon rises. Whoosh. The sky darkened without warning, clouds swirling as if summoned by fate itself. Overhead, the blood moon began to cast its eerie glow, just as the ancient text had foretold. It's time. The portal is opening. Lalin turned to look at Longyu. For the first time, she saw panic in his eyes. I have to choose now. Don't I? She whispered. Lalin. He stepped toward her, his hands clenched tightly, wrestling emotions he had kept buried for too long. Then, without warning, a stronger gust of wind tore through the garden. Before them, the portal began to take shape, shimmering with otherworldly light, a swirling gateway that pulsed like a living thing. It was beautiful. Terrifying. Final. That's it, isn't it? She murmured. The way back to my world. She took a step toward it, but before she could move any further, he grabbed her wrist. His grip was firm, but trembling. His eyes, once sharp and cold, now shimmered with something raw and desperate. If you walk through that portal, his voice shook, you won't be able to come back. She looked up at him, her heart pounding like thunder in her chest. And in that moment, she realized, this wasn't just a decision about worlds. It was a decision about him. About them. What will I choose? In Prince Jingyu's pavilion, meanwhile, far from the garden's storm of emotions, Prince Jingyu stood calmly upon the high balcony of his pavilion. His gaze was fixed upon the rising blood moon, the red glow dancing in his eyes like flames fed by secrets. A sly, knowing smile curled on his lips. It's time, he murmured. He turned sharply toward the dark figure kneeling beside him. His loyal shadow guard. Go, bring her to me, before she makes her choice. The shadow vanished into the night. In the Imperial Garden, the fierce wind howled, swirling around them. As the glowing portal shimmered in midair, the shrieking gusts made the night feel chillingly surreal. Lalin stared at the light, her heart pounding in confusion and dread, while Longyu's hand gripped her wrist tightly, as if afraid she might slip away from his life forever. But before she could utter a single word, whoosh, figures clad in black burst from the shadows, swiftly surrounding them in a tight circle. Lin, watch out. Longyu yanked her close, his body moving protectively in front of her. From the rooftop, Baeksayan, who had been silently observing, leapt down, his twin blades flashing in the moonlight. And then, a cold Sinister laugh echoed through the night. In front of the portal, a tall figure in black robes stepped out from the darkness, his sharp eyes glinting under the crimson moonlight. Duke Chengyu. At last. The time has come, he spoke in a calm, commanding voice. Lalin's eyes widened. What do you mean? Chengyu's lips curved into a cold smirk. This portal didn't appear by chance. I am the one who summoned it. What? Lalin and Longyu exclaimed in unison. Chengyu's piercing gaze locked onto Lalin. Did you think you crossed worlds because of fate? No, it was I who brought you here. Lalin's heart pounded, tightening painfully in her chest. Why would you do this? Because you. Chengyu's voice dropped low, his smile deepening. Are the key to unlocking the ancient power sealed within the royal bloodline. A shocking truth unveiled. Longyu clenched his jaw tightly. I will never let you harm Lalin. But before he could launch an attack, Duke Chengyu merely flicked his wrist, and in an instant, the assassins charged forward. Byaxian leapt into the fray, shouting, Junior, stay away from him. Yet Lalin didn't hear him. Her eyes were locked on the flickering portal. Heart pounding. The truth, that she'd been forced to cross worlds, just a pawn in Chengyu's grand scheme, tore at her soul. You must choose. Lalin, Chengyu said coolly, his voice cutting through the chaos. Step into that portal. Or stay here, and become my instrument. Lalin trembled, her heart crying out in turmoil. But before she could speak, Longyu swept forward, wrapping an arm firmly around her waist, breaking through the circle of assassins. I won't let you belong to anyone. His deep voice thundered. Lin met his gaze, and in that moment, she knew he meant every word. But all around them, the portal pulsed and trembled, the light threatening to collapse. If she didn't decide now, it might vanish forever. Will she step through to return home, or stay by Longyu's side? In the heart of the royal garden battlefield, Byaxian clashed swords with Chengyu's assassins, the sharp clang of steel echoing through the night. Several assassins lunged at once, but Byaxian only smirked, smoothly twisting aside. Is that all you've got? He taunted, his blade flashing in swift, deadly arcs. As the assassins fell one by one, Princess Sufei arrived with her royal guards, her voice clear and commanding. Seize them all. Seeing the tides turn, Duke Chengyu's lips curled into a sharp, chilling smile. Lalin, he murmured darkly, did you think escaping me would be that easy? He raised his hand and unleashed his hidden power. A torrent of black chi erupted from his body, forcing everyone back under its crushing pressure. As the assassins closed in from every direction, chaos erupted like a storm. Blades clashed, cries echoed. The ground trembled beneath the whirlwind of battle. Suddenly, a commanding voice rang through the storm. Seize them all, now! From the shadows behind the portal, Princess Sufei emerged, her golden armor gleaming under the blood moon's glow. What is that power? Lalin gasped, eyes wide. Longyu's jaw clenched tightly. He's using the forbidden power of the royal bloodline. Duke Chengyu let out a low, sinister laugh. If you don't step through that portal now, I'll destroy it, and take you down with it. Whoosh! With a swift motion, he hurled his dark energy straight at the glowing portal. The shimmering gateway began to tremble violently, its light flickering. If it collapsed before Lalin chose, she might never return home again. Lalin. Longyu gripped her shoulders firmly, his eyes blazing. You must decide, now. Lalin trembled, her heart shattering into pieces. Should she return to her world, or stay here, with the one who held her heart? In the battle-scarred royal garden, the black chi unleashed by Duke Chengyu surged wildly across the grounds. Fierce winds howled through the trees, their branches bending and snapping, as thunder cracked overhead, as if the heavens themselves were enraged. Do you still intend to stand in my way, Longyu? Chengyu's cold voice cut through the storm, his raised hand gathering more, crackling dark energy. Longyu said nothing. He drew his sword from its sheath, eyes sharp and steady like a warrior ready to fight to the death. I will never let you harm Lalin. Whoosh! In a blink, Chengyu hurled his black energy straight at Longyu, but with a sharp twist of his sword, Longyu slashed through the attack, shattering it midair. Standing at his side, Byaxian gave a low whistle. Oh my, senior brother. You look really pissed off right now. Shut up and fight. Longyu shot him a quick glare. Byaxian laughed, then leapt forward, cutting down the assassins swarming toward them. Meanwhile, Princess Sufei's elite guards rushed in to back them up, holding the lines with fierce determination. The clash of swords and roars of chi filled the night air. But time was running out. The shimmering portal still pulsed behind Lalin, trembling on the brink of collapse. Her choice had to come soon. In front of the glowing portal, Lalin stood trembling, eyes fixed on the chaotic battle before her. Her heart pounded in her chest, her breath caught in her throat. She wouldn't, let Longyu fight alone. I might not have a sword like them, but I'm not weak. She drew a deep breath, clenched her fists, and dashed forward. Whoosh! Dodging the incoming blasts of chi with sharp reflexes, Lalin unleashed the Muay Thai and Taekwondo moves she had trained in back in her original world. Spinning kicks, swift punches, knocking down assassins with surprising agility. Longyu shot her a stunned glance mid-swing. What are you doing here? I'm helping you. Of course, Lalin called back, flashing a cheeky grin before flipping and landing a sharp kick that sent another enemy sprawling. His chest tightened for a moment, part worry, part awe, but he had no time to dwell on it. Together, they would stand and fight, side by side. At the turning point of fate, Lord Qingyu's brow furrowed tightly as he watched Lalin fend off his assassins. Heh, so you're not the fragile little girl I thought you were, he murmured, voice edged with dark amusement. With a sharp motion, he raised his hand, gathering swirls of black chi that thickened around him like a venomous fog. I will end this, now, he thundered, eyes flashing with malice, before launching himself directly toward Lalin. But in that instant, whoosh, Longyu stepped sharply in front of her, his sword gleaming silver, under the blood-red moonlight. With a swift, powerful strike, he deflected the dark energy, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. I told you, Longyu growled, his voice low and unwavering. You will never lay a hand on her. Lord Qingyu staggered back a step, but his lips twisted into a wicked grin. In that case, I'll send you both to your graves. Together. The end of the battle. The clash of Lord Qingyu's dark power against Longyu's blade erupted in a deafening explosion that shook the entire courtyard. Lalin saw a blinding flash of light, and then, sudden, eerie silence. As her vision cleared, she saw Longyu standing in front of her, chest heaving with heavy breaths. Across the courtyard, Lord Qingyu had been hurled back, his body crashing violently into the stone wall. Impossible, Lord Qingyu gasped, blood trickling from the corner of his lips. His eyes, once sharp and filled with malice, now trembled with disbelief. Without thinking, Lalin rushed forward, grasping Longyu's arm. Are you all right? She asked, voice shaking. He turned to her, his dark eyes softening for just a moment. He gave a slight nod. I'm fine, he murmured, though his fingers tightened briefly around the hilt of his sword. Before the fading portal, the shimmering light of the portal dimmed rapidly, its edges flickering, trembling, threatening to vanish at any moment. If Lalin didn't step through now, she would lose her chance to return home forever. From a distance, Bai Xian watched the scene unfold, a faint smile playing at his lips. Little Junior, he murmured to himself. I truly wonder. What will you choose? Longyu's hand gripped Lin's tightly, his dark eyes locked onto hers, brimming with emotions. He could no longer hide. Lalin, he said softly, voice trembling with everything he wasn't saying. Will you go? Or will you stay? Lalin stared up at him, her heart pounding so fiercely. It felt as if it might burst from her chest. She glanced toward the trembling portal, its glow flickering as the aura around it slowly faded. With every heartbeat, every breath, it edged closer to vanishing completely. This might be my only chance to go home. Lalin turned back, her eyes meeting Longyu's. His sharp, unwavering gaze was locked entirely on her, his hand clutching hers as if afraid she'd slip away. I cannot ask you to stay, Longyu said softly, voice low yet filled with raw emotion. But I do not want you to leave. Lin pressed her lips together, chest tightening as her heart twisted in turmoil. What should I choose? Coming up next. What decision will Lalin make? And has Prince Chengyu truly been defeated? Or does he have another scheme waiting in the shadows? Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode.